Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. So today I'm going to show you how to draft a basic sketch block, and I'll make it as detailed as possible. So I've already drawn my box and I'm going to show you how I got this. So I just took 1 inch from that point downwards, then I took 0.5 inch from the side. The reason why I did this is because I don't want to take measurement from the edge of the paper, but if you want to you can, but it's by choice. So I'll just label that my top line, as you can see. Okay, so to get my paper width, I'm going to divide my hip measurement by 2. So from that point I'm going to take place my hip measurement divided by 2 to that point. So I've already done that, so I'll just rule or make the line clearer, since I already did that with a pencil. The reason why we use our hip is because our hip is our largest or biggest measurement. If it was our bust that was the biggest, that would be our paper width, but for this our hip is. So from this point I'm just going to take down my paper length or my sketch length. So my paper length will be my sketch length, so from that point I'll take down my sketch length. So I've already done that, so I'll just rule a line or make the line clearer. So I'll just rule that line downwards, as you can see me do in the video. So I'll just extend that line downwards, like you can see me doing the video. So that will be our paper length, which is our sketch length, don't forget that. So now I'm going to be finding the middle of that line, but first let me just rule down so that I can create the box that I want to create. So as I was saying, I'm going to find the middle of that line, so I'll just take my tape and I'm just going to measure the line, then divide what I got by 2, or you can just fold the tape, but I prefer dividing it by 2. Then I'll just mark that from the edge of my paper, then I'll mark that down. I'm still marking down the same measurement. I just want the line to be straight, but I've already ruled the lines, but I'm just showing you guys how I got that line. So now I'm just going to make that fainted line visible so that you guys can see it. But I hope you understand how I got the line. I just found the midpoint at the top. So now what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to be placing my hip depth, and I'm going to take that from the top line. So from the top line I'll place my hip depth. So I'll just mark that. I'm just doing this so that the line can be straight, but if you know, you can rule a straight line with your eyes, but just to be more accurate I do this. So I'll just rule the line, as you can see me doing the video, just like that. So this will be my front and this will be my back. So now from this point I'll measure out my waist divided by 4, plus 1 inch for that. But before I do that, I'll make sure that here and here and also here and there are equal, because this will be my hip line. So from this point, I'll take out my waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that. Then I'll just mark that there. Then from that point, I'll come up 0.5 inches. Then what I'll do next is that from this point, I'll take out my bust span divided by 2. So I'll mark that there on that line. Then I'll also mark it on this line. I'm really sorry, the video stopped recording and I didn't know. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to explain how I got this. So from this point to this point is my bust span divided by 2, right? Then I place that same measurement on this line. So I came up 2 inches from that point. 2 inches. That's a standard for the front skirt. I came up 2 inches. Then what I did next is that I placed 0.5 inches on both sides of that point, and that serves as our dart that we added to the waist, which will give us 1 inch in total. So I took 0.5 inches on both sides. Then what I did next is that I took my ruler, then I joined those points together. You see this line? I used my hip curve to join that point to my hip line. So that's how I got this. Then from this point, I'm just going to connect it down to that dart with using my hip curve, because our waist is not straight, it's actually curved. So just watch me do this in the video. So that's how it's going to be. Now we have finished our front pattern. Let's move to the back. So for the back pattern, we're going to be doing exactly the same thing we did in the front pattern, just a little different. So I'm just going to transfer my waist measurement to my back, which is my waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that. So from that point, I'll just place that measurement, which is my waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that. Then from this point, I'll come up 0.5 inches, just like we did for the front. Then I'll just connect that new point we just made to the hip line. You might not have seen me do this in the front pattern, but this is exactly what I did, just in case you did not understand at first. Then next, from this point, I'll be placing my bust span divided by 2, just like we did for the front pattern. Then I'll also place it on this line. Then from this point, I'll come up 1.5 inches. At the front, we came up 2 inches, but for the back, we're coming up 1.5 inches. That's a standard. So I'll just take my ruler and just connect those 2 points or 3 points together. So from here, I'm going to place my dart, which is my half dart. That's 0.5 inches on both sides. Then I'll just connect. So I just did exactly the same thing I did for the front. I joined those points together, then I took my hip curve and I joined that point here to the dart, just like I did for the front. The only difference is that we use 1.5 inches here and not 2 inches. So the next step, we are going to be tapering the skirt. This is optional. This is if you want the skirt to be more fitting. If you want to do that, you just from this point come out 0.5 inches or 1 inch, is your choice, but I'm going to be using 0.5 inches. So I'll just take 0.5 inches on both sides. Then from this point I'll come down 1 inch. Then I'll just take my ruler and just connect those points together. So now let's move to the back. So we're going to taper the back. This is optional. If you want the butt to be more fitting, from this point just come out 0.5 inch or 0.75 inches, then just connect it to that point. This is optional. If you just want the butt to like come out more, you just do this. So now that we are done, I'm just going to be labeling this. I'll label this my center back, and at the back we're going to be adding zip allowance, 1 inch zip allowance. Don't forget, I didn't add the allowance in this pattern, so don't forget to add that. And at the front, I'll just label this my center front, and I'm going to be cutting this on fold. But if you want to add zip at the front, you won't cut on fold, you just do what you did to the back pattern. So guys, thank you so much for watching. This is how you draft your basic skirt blog. I hope you understood. I hope you understood the video. If you have any question, feel free to ask me. There's a comment section below. Just ask me any question there, and make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be posting more patterns and even sewing tutorials. Thanks for watching.